Well, something smells good in here, and I don't mean me. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm not trying to imply that I smell bad. Well, it's just, well, you know how it is when, you're fixing something, you're cooking. We've got the fragrance of some cinnamon, some oil, sugar, flour. We have the heat from the oven, and it really smells good in here. It's a very good aroma. That's what I meant by that comment. So anyway, what I'm doing, I've already mixed some of the ingredients for the coffee cake that I'm making. And what I need to do now, I've got a couple ingredients, a few ingredients, 3 of them actually, that I need some help with. So I'm going to use a proportional relationship to help me figure out exactly how much of each of these ingredients that I'm going to need to put in here to mix in order to make my coffee cake. Now, yes, there's an easier way to do this, and I could just add the amount that I needed for one recipe to make 3, but this is not about the recipe, this is about the math. So let's keep that in mind. Now, the first ingredient that I need some help with is going to be the flour. Now, on the recipe, it calls for 1 3/4 cups of flour for 1 cake, but I want to make 3 cakes. There's 2 of them I'm going to be giving away to some other people, and so I want to make 3 cakes, and I know that 1 3/4 cups flour makes 1 cake. So what I need to do, and what I'm going to do, is use my trusty little kitchen tool here. I usually keep this close by. Now, this is our little dinner notification. This is what we write our dinner on, what we're preparing for dinner that evening. Yes, I know, we're dorks. So what I can do is I can use a proportional relationship to help me figure out how much flour I need to make 3 cakes. So if 1 3/4 cups of flour will make 1 cake, I can make another ratio equal to that to make 3 cakes. I need to figure out how many cups of flour do I need to make 3 cakes if 1 3/4 cups of flour make 1 cake. Here's where I can cross multiply, which appears more difficult than it actually is, and then divide by 1. And of course, if we divide by 1, we're going to end up with the same anyway, so we really don't need to worry too much about this part. So let me do 1 3/4 times 3. So I'm going to change this to an improper fraction. 4 times 1 plus 3 will give me 7 over 4. So that's changed to 7/4 times my 3. Now I'm going to express my 3 as a fraction, 3 over 1. It's the same thing, same value. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the numerators together, which is 21. And then I'm going to multiply the denominators together, which are 4. So I get 21/4. Now, how many times can 4 go into 21? 5 whole times. And 4 times 5 is 20. That means I'm going to have 1 left over out of 4. So that's 1/4. So that tells me this x equals 5 1/4. So I need to get 5 full cups and 1/4 of a cup of flour to make 3 of these cakes.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in 5 full cups of flour. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to get a 1/4 of a cup measuring device. And 1/4 of a cup. So, I have the flour I need to make 3.
So the next ingredient that I needed help with was figuring out the amount of milk that I need to put in here for 3 cakes. The recipe for 1 cake calls for 2/3 of a cup of milk. I am going to use my chalkboard again, and like I said, we keep this in our kitchen, and I think it's really good probably to keep something like this around the kitchen. You have a chalkboard, plus you have chalk, and I guess in case you run out of flour, maybe you could just grind up the chalk and use it in place of some flour. I guess I'm not recommending that. I'm just saying I guess it's a possibility. I don't know. I don't even know if this stuff is good for you. But anyway, so what we need to do is I'm going to set up a proportion again. So I'm going to take 2/3 of a cup will give me 1 cake. I'm going to set that equal to another ratio. I want 3 total cakes. So what I need to do then to figure out how much goes here, how many cups of milk I need, I am going to multiply these two together, divide by 1. Of course, in this case, again, we don't need to divide by 1 because we're going to get the same answer anyway. So 2/3 times 3. So I'm going to do 2/3 times 3 as a fraction, 3/1. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. This one I don't have a remainder because 6 divided by 3 is 2. That tells me that my x is 2. Now I know I need to get exactly 2 cups of milk, not flour. I already got flour. 2 cups of milk is what I need. So I'm going to get the milk. All right, need to add 2 cups of milk. 1 and 2. 2 full cups of milk. All right, guys. I've only got one more ingredient to go. Be right back. Okay, and we're on to the last thing I needed some help with, and that's going to be the oil, I believe, vegetable oil. Now, it calls for 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil for 1 cake. Again, I need enough for 3 cakes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I need 1/3 of a cup or for 1 cake. I'm going to set that equal to what I need for 3 cakes. I'm going to again cross multiply and then divide by 1, which in this case again we don't have to do. I'm going to multiply 1/3 times 3. So I'm going to do 1/3 times 3 as a fraction, 3/1. Now I do numerators. 1 times 3 is 3. Multiply denominators. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, no remainder this time. So we have to have 1 cup of vegetable oil to make 3 of these coffee cakes. So my vegetable oil and my measuring cup. Okay, and there we go. All right, and that's pretty much it. That's all I really needed help with, and I wanted to show you guys how to use a proportional relationship in order to figure out a missing value. So thank you guys for helping me. There's not much left to do now other than finish mixing this, get it in the oven, and then I guess in the words of Weird Al Yankovic, just eat it. So thank you for joining me on this episode of the Kaufman Kitchen, and see you next time, guys.